Welcome. This is My Favorite Mortgage. I am Jaimie Booth, a licensed loan officer here in Arizona and in Texas, and you're listening to a newer podcast called My Favorite Mortgage, where we give you a behind-the-scenes look at the home buying journey, start to finish, from contract to close, and we like to invite some really special guests. And today we have Katie Gibbons on the show.
Yay.
Thank you for coming.
I'm so excited to be here.
And what was your signature?
Meow. Oh, meow.
Meow.
When I can't think of other things, I'm like, oh, meow.
So we met a while back at an expo for realtors, and you do something that is really unique. And I started following you on Instagram and watching your videos. Tell us what your secret skill is.
So when I'm not busy, hawking homes at people, I am a pinup model, I guess is what we call it. So I've been published in random publications and random magazines. So basically, let's start with what is a pinup?
What is a pinup?
People are
because I'm thinking,
what is that?
From the 40s,
yeah, so basically,
right?
Think nose art from World War II planes. Think Rita Hayworth, of course, Marilyn Monroe. So that vintage aesthetic, we take that and we do our hair, we do makeup, we put on dresses. So I do this in my daily thing because, there's 8,000 realtors out there and I'm like, how am I going to stand out? Right. Oh, look, I'm the property pinup. So I do properties, I do pinup, I'm the property pinup. So here we are.
I love that.
So I try to make myself just something that's me and something a little different. So then I do all that. I get ready and then I go out with 10 or 20 other girls and we compete. It's not as bougie
for
as
money.
Sometimes I have won money and nobody tells me there's money and they just hand me things and I go, ooh. It's kind of Miss Congeniality, if you've seen it.
Yes, of course.
So, of course, I know. Don't worry, there's no dance scenes, thank God. But we get asked hey, what is it about you? I don't know, what else do we talk about?
And what do you really want? World peace.
What is your perfect date?
What is it, April something?
13th or something? It's just for a light sweater. But so we do that, and there's usually a theme. The one I did one in Tombstone that was either rockabilly, so it's think Pink Ladies,
right?
Or the one I just did was, what the heck was our theme? Oh, 4th of July because it was Veterans Day. So I had blue
patriotic
and white.
stuff,
super
the American
fun.
flag.
Yeah,
yes,
super fun.
I love it.
And sometimes we usually get crowns and sashes and goodie bags full of girly things that we love. But it's really fun. You get to I get to tell everybody I'm a real estate agent, so whoop whoop, shameless plug. And then I get to tell people things about bringing awareness to charities, because a lot of times, most of the time, our pageants go to charities, local charities, whether they're in Tucson, Phoenix, Tombstone. We're usually doing something for charity. We raised money for veterans this last weekend. The weekend before, it was a toy drive. We do a lot of so it always goes back to how we impact our communities.
I'm sure you guys draw a crowd, because if I was just visiting Tombstone and then I see a group of women that look like they came right out of Look magazine.
People are really confused when they see a group of us. People are really confused. They're
time travelers?
They're what? You all look great, but what's
going on here?
Yeah, people are really confused about us, but we give them a quick down low and so that's
what
I do.
What a fun hobby, extra thing. And I mean, your hair for one. And I remember at the expo, you look like you came out of the 1940s.
I do try.
And that is very great personal branding.
So everything, the property pinup goes on everything.
Open house signs.
Oh, well, we're working on that one because they always just get trampled and they get thrown in our trunks and but everything else.
Gotcha.
All my marketing, everything is Katie Gibbons, the property pinup.
So how long have you been a real estate agent?
We are going into I just completed my 4th year because I just had to do my
continuing ed. Super fun.
You love it, don't you? Because you guys have to do it too,
We
right?
do. We do. You know what we did this year? We hired someone, and it was all of the loan officers in the branch, and we just sat there in the conference room and knocked it all out in one day.
Oh, that's great.
But it was all day.
That's rough.
It was a very long day. But I was glad. Like, I don't want to do the few hours here, because then you get busy and you forget.
And then your
Then you're in
broker
trouble.
goes, Katie,
You're
hey,
on the naughty list.
you have 2 weeks, girl. Get it together. I've gotten that email 4 times this month. But good news is we just completed it. So yay. So yeah, about 4 years. So I jumped in right before like everything got wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
That was a fun ride.
That was something like I've worked with a couple agents that are like been in the business for like since the 70s.
Oh, gosh.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
And they're looking at me and they're like, we've never seen anything like this. I was like, that makes 2 of us because I'm brand spanking new. I haven't either.
Right.
This is gonna be fun for both of us. Yay.
I agree. We call them the unicorn years.
Yeah.
The unicorn years, because there was just deals falling out of the sky.
Literally.
It was so easy.
It was like glorious, like that. Because like you go into like when you're new and you're like, oh my God, what do I do with my whole life right now?
How do I get business?
Yeah, and it was literally like you were saying, like, oh, just dropping out of the sky. And I'm like,
Now it's a different, every market is different. Like, there's no return to normal, because what we thought was normal before COVID is so different.
There's no normal for us. Like, people are like, oh, like what's normal? And I'm like, in 4 years, I haven't seen anything. But from what I've heard from everybody, nothing is normal.
No.
Like, we don't have a normal.
We don't.
Like, we have people sign things that say, our market is cyclical, do not sue us. Because it's never the same. We can never predict it. Like, we try. Like, we try really hard.
Right.
But we
can't. We can't. And the same thing in my world with mortgage rates. Like, all these experts and these financial guys try to say, oh, this is when rates are coming down. Nobody knows. No, there's no crystal ball. We just adjust. And
we have to. Like, it's like we just look at our numbers and we go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. We're best
we
friends.
Keep saying, there's a light at the end of the tunnel to a totally different market. We have no idea what's coming.
And we're going to go into another tunnel, but there will be a light at that one as well. So it will be fine. Yes. Eventually, we will get there. And then we'll refi. It'll be fine.
Yes.
It'll be fine.
Right. So thanks again so much, Katie, for coming on. We do like to play a little games before we dive into your favorite mortgage.
Ooh,
Are you ready?
I like games.
Okay. So would you rathers? These are would you rathers. Okay. I don't know what they are either, because now we're getting to the point where Andy just hands me a piece of paper, so we both get to see what this is. Okay. Would you rather have clients who can't decide between 2 houses, or clients who can't agree on anything, even the paint color?
Oh God, give me 2 houses. Because like we were saying, I come from something where like there were no houses. So if we have 2 to decide from, glorious. Let's offer on one, see how that goes. And if the other one's still available, we'll offer on that one.
Plan B.
I like it.
Yep.
Versus like we're never going to get a decision out of anybody in the second one, ever.
Right.
There will be no offer.
Like
ever.
Those are our silver linings that people seem to forget. That during those crazy years, you couldn't find a house. You were making 15 offers. So this one, we can at least now narrow it down and think about it overnight.
We have options versus if we don't offer on this house that you think might work for you, we're never going to see it again. Yeah. Ever. Never. Bye. Yep.
Would you rather host an open house during a blizzard or the middle of a heat wave? So freezing cold or scorching hot?
So I lived in Tucson like my whole life, and I don't know what to do with snow. I would probably just not do anything.
No.
Like, hot is not fun, don't get me wrong. The signs will burn me.
You have the oven mitts?
Not yet, because like there's parts where I can hold them, or I have to do it real quick, like ooh. But I have heard people carry oven mitts in their car. Like, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
But like blizzard, like we wouldn't even get out of the home Like,
No.
I would just open the door and go, absolutely not. And
No one would show up at your open house.
No, there's no point. Like, I'd much rather just be like, I don't know.
At least
like,
with heat, we can turn on air conditioning.
there's air conditioning.
Yep.
Like,
I agree.
I prep sellers be like, if we're selling in the summer, y'all better put that air conditioner on.
Okay. Would you rather have a client who thinks Zillow is the ultimate authority or a client who consults a fortune teller for property advice?
Is there a correct answer for that one? Because that's just, I mean, am I allowed to say things about Zillow on this? I mean,
my podcast.
I feel like those two are like the same thing. Like,
They're synonymous.
Zillow just like closes their eyes and picks numbers out, and they're just like, "Woo!
We'll see what happens.
Woo, this sounds good." So I feel like they are a fortune teller. So I mean,
Yeah.
they're something.
How about neither on both?
Yeah. Option
All right.
C.
Last one. And this one's a good one. I like this one. Would you rather be a solo agent or part of a team?
Ooh, so in the last year or so, I've had a couple opportunities. People have been like, "So I think I'm starting a team," and I go, "That's adorable." No, good luck. I support you, but
Solo agent.
I just like being dependent on me, myself,
Just
and
worrying about-
I.
yeah.
And then that way, like, if I make the money, it's yay for me. If I don't make the money, it's me. It's, you know, like,
Right.
I'm the accountability at the end of the day, so I'm not, like, blaming or, you know. Plus,
Right.
nobody else is going, like, I want your money. So, people have been like, hey, so I'm starting a team, and I'm like, that's good for you. That's awesome. Great.
Yeah.
I don't think that's my thing. And like some people work great on teams.
Right.
And there's some really awesome successful teams like that I see everywhere.
Right. I've seen them
Personally,
too.
I don't think it's my jam. I mean, I'm not going to 100% close the door on it. But it's like 90% of the way closed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well,
you never say never.
Right. For mortgage, we are kind of in the same boat. But I've got an assistant, so between her and I, you know, we're a little team. But
I could do it like if I'm ever like
it's
a
like
big
you
dog.
have a TC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I TC for other people. Like
Oh.
when I get, because sometimes things get a little slow, and I'm like, you know what? Let's bring in some extra cash.
TC stands for transaction coordinator.
We do all the paperwork that
All
sometimes
the fun stuff.
Woo! Meow.
See?
It happens.
All right. So we do like to talk a little bit about mortgages because, yes, that's my jam.
Yes.
Katie, thinking back over the last 4 years, and a lot of people, majority of people need a mortgage, right? Would you like to share with us a memorable transaction, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the successes?
It's so hard to pick one because there's so many things off of little things off of each deal. Like when we were in the height of the unicorn
craziness.
years,
Yes.
as you called them, I had a client that I'd been like showing here and there, okay. And she called me out of the blue, and she literally had found the home in the neighborhood, and she's like, this is the address, and I will never forget it. Katie, get me in that home. And I was like, okay, here I go. And like, for people who didn't live through those unicorn years,
Right.
like you did not
Jump.
like through the hoop, through like 10 more hoops.
Forget hair, forget makeup.
Nothing.
You just left.
Like you couldn't even go to a second listing sometimes because it was already under contract. Like, so we had 20 offers on that home.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, are you prepared to do whatever it takes?
Yep.
Whatever it takes is like throw money at it in those days. We got it. We
Good
beat
for
out
you.
20 other offers. And I'm not going to lie, that was when I got that phone call, that I'm not going to lie, I think I shrieked. I think I
What
screamed.
were some things, like pinpoint why you beat out? What was your offer?
She was willing to go $50,000 over because the neighborhood value, it was like a couple, they were the original owners of a 1982-ish, something like that. Original owners, you knew that the property value was there. She knew even going, I swear, I think it was something ridiculous like that, like 50 over, something along those lines.
Okay. Did she waive inspections?
We still did all of our inspections.
Good.
Because I think that's important. Like,
yeah.
Maybe we don't ask for anything, but it's good to know, like,
are you buying a lemon or not?
Yeah, like what's going on all up in there?
Yeah.
Do I want to put this much work in? But the value was there. We knew it was going to stay there with renovations. It was going to come up. And it was just the area that she had just wanted.
She had to have it.
She had to have it. And I'm a big fan of, like, establishing rapport with agents as quickly as I can. So I will call. I will be like, hey, it's Katie. How are you? How's your day going? How long do I? Like, in that time, we had to be like, I will have it to you in 5 minutes.
Right. What does the seller want?
Yeah.
My firstborn child? Absolutely.
Great. Does he need a new cat?
Yeah.
What do you need in your life? I don't, like.
I'll pay for their U-Haul.
What do you need?
Tell me anything.
Anything. And that was exciting because not only did I get to make the phone call to her saying, oh, girl, I did the darn thing, but we made it all the way through and we got to closing and she was just like, we laughed because she's like, I told you to get me the home. I was like, girl, I got you the home.
Wow. I love those stories.
So it was fun. I was like, I got you the home. So every time I drive past that neighborhood, I'm like, hey.
Right?
Hey,
we do that.
Hey, home.
I'll drive by. I'm like, I did a refi for them. I did a refi.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, that's like our new landmarks. Like, I sold that home. Ooh,
yep.
I wonder how they're doing in that home. What has it been, like a year and a half? Like, that's like how we look at things.
Do they
like,
want their next house now?
Yeah. Is it that time? No, I'm sure they're still good. Maybe I need to call them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever invite your clients to the pinup contests and things like that?
I don't think I have because that's like me, and I don't know if like my clients are ready for like full blown like no inhibitions.
Katie unfiltered.
Yeah, basically. I mean, most of my clients like they get me, but they don't get like the full blown.
I think that would be cool.
Some people would think that.
Yeah,
but like. Yeah. Maybe not, but I mean, everybody gets the like pinup thing pretty quickly because all my appointments, everything, it takes a few minutes to get ready in the morning, but like every time I have an appointment or something, like something,
you play the part.
Something is vintage, like, and if it's not, it's because we had 5 minutes to go see that home.
Oh, those were fun.
Oh God,
those were fun.
That was the hysteria. I miss it and I don't miss it.
I agree.
Because, like, the hysteria was a lot. Like, we were, like, popping all around town. Like, oh, no, you're already in contract. Like, it would go on the market in the morning. We would drive to the home, and there would be a sign on the door that says active contingent. And I'm like, seriously?
Well, you know, and it was interest rates were driving that. Those were once in a lifetime interest rates.
Ooh, this is a good question for you. What is the lowest interest rate you have ever heard? Like, what are people?
So, great question. I know personally, I booked several at 2.25. I have seen a 1.99.
My good friends has a 1.99.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's free money at that point.
I was like what? She's like, dude, seriously.
My 2.25s were without any points.
That's exciting.
It was just 2.25. Man, gosh.
Period. Done.
Like there's things where I'm like, oh, I wish we had those, but then I hated that frenzy. Yeah. I hated that. That was awful. And I think it was a lot of heartbreak.
There was a lot of heartbreak.
Yeah.
Like, and you had people like on our end, I'm sure you guys saw it because we keep asking like, we need updated this and like, no, we didn't get this one.
Need another one.
Need another one. We didn't get this one or that one or that one. I think the most offers I wrote for a client, I think was like 9 or 10 before we got in. Yeah. And some of them quit because it was just.
And that was the other thing that people forget to talk about is a lot of people quit right now because of high interest rates. Back then, with the lowest of the lows, people quit because they could not get into a house.
So people right now, I'm trying to like get all my people back and be like, hey, look, I get it.
Get in.
They're not our favorites right now. But would you rather have choice of home, which, and we're even seeing like concessions coming back.
Oh, thank God.
Which is
I know.
Wild.
I love it. I know. Those are the things that we just didn't get. And now we have them. And it's like, guys, don't miss this window of opportunity. Don't miss it.
It's a different window.
Yeah.
But it's a window. Like,
right.
We don't have 20 offers.
Right. We don't have lines out the door.
We can look. We can take our time and decide,
yes.
is this the house for you?
Right.
Do you love it? Do you hate it? Like, I don't just have to shove a house at you and be like,
do you want it or not?
This is a yes or a no. I wish we had time, but I need a decision right now because I need to get in my car, turn on my hotspot, and type your offer in my front seat, or that is it. Yeah. I don't even have time to go home. Yeah. Like, do I have time? Probably not. Write it in the car.
I remember I went camping in the middle of that. And I had hardly any cell phone service, but we were just writing offers after offers. So my husband and I were, we were at the lake. I had no cell phone, but my phone would get Wi-Fi messages. And I had to go drive back up to where I could get Wi-Fi or internet so I could send prequals. I couldn't even go camping for 2 days.
One of my good friends, when she goes out of town, she'll put me on alert. Because she did the same thing. Lake, no service. She thought she was going to have... She has enough service to text me, but, like, we couldn't hear each other if we called.
Right.
So she's like, I'm going to have to drive back into town. And I was like...
I did that.
I was like, don't do it. Like, tell me what it is. Screenshot me something. I'll write it and send it. And that was, like, I was in mid-pageant prep, so I'm, like, curling the hair, typing out a counteroffer, and, like, so, I mean, I get it, because we go, and most of the time, we can take our stuff with us. But then there's, like, really weird occurrences where we have no service, or there's so many people, we can't get the service. It's a weird life, but it's kind of cool that we don't have to, like, sit in the office.
No, we get that
Monday through Friday,
flexibility, and I love that about our jobs. Before we get going, and I just want to thank you again for popping on. And I know this is your first.
This is my first podcast. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, are you sure I'm cool enough? Oh God, all morning I've been like,
well, let's face it, mortgages are boring. So you're the coolest right now.
Well, you make them pretty fun on TikTok.
Thank you.
Because I'm pretty sure my favorite is when the lighthouse was coming back, and you were like, not yet, and not yet.
Yeah.
Hold my hand.
Hold my hand. All right.
That was like
and
the
let's
perfect audio. I started laughing, and I was like, yes, that's accurate.
Yes.
That's accurate.
And that's how it is, because it was released again on November 3rd, and we're like, if you don't get into contract by Wednesday of this week, forget it.
Like,
it's gone.
That's a door. Like, the first time it was like, look at this. Oh, no, it's gone. It's gone. Oh.
Now it's not even, it's like, look, gone.
Yeah, like, here's the, oh, no, never mind. We took
never
it all.
mind.
It's gone already.
Yeah. It's all right. We always have plan B. We always have some other program or down payment assistance or grant. I always have plan B. It's nice for the people that were able to take advantage of it, and there'll be something else. But I don't know if they're going to do this one again.
It went.
Yeah, in blink of an eye.
Yeah. But it's cool that we're saying like concessions and programs, and we're seeing things again that were not a thing in 2020,
21, even into 22.
Yeah, early 2022. We're just like, do. No, nothing. You can't get anything. You're lucky if you get this house.
Right, exactly. So pick and choose your battle, folks. Like, I like this kind. I know the interest rates aren't fun, but this is where we can get the seller to do a 2-1 buy down. Yeah. Buy your rate down. All right, before we get going, we like to finish off with some dad jokes.
Ooh, I love dad jokes.
Let's see here, and these are going to be new for me. I think we've done that one, Andy. The bank keeps calling me to give them compliments. They said I have an outstanding balance.
Because it's just outstanding. Woo! You're so cool.
What did the evil chicken lay?
Oh my God. What?
Deviled eggs.
Oh, those are my favorite.
What do you call a lazy kangaroo?
What?
A pouch potato. I did one to my husband the other day. Okay. You may have seen this one on TikTok, but what do you call a spider with 10 eyes?
No, I didn't. What is it?
A spider.
like, I
know, I was like, I didn't do 10, but you get the gist of it, right?
Yeah. You dur.
Do you see why I brought her on? She's freaking hilarious. Oh my gosh.
This is what I do. This is it. This is what you get when you go, Katie, we want you as a realtor. That's what I'm going to keep in my back pocket now.
Yep. And then you get me as a lender, and we just have fun. You know, house buying should be fun. This is memorable.
It should be exciting. It shouldn't be like,
you know,
like it's going to be crazy.
Sign your documents.
Yeah. Like it's going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be moments where it sucks. Like it's not all roses.
Yep.
But
just don't go to jail and we're fine.
I mean, at least have that bail money and set it aside so that like it doesn't affect your pre-qual.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know.
Don't take out a loan.
Don't take out a loan, go to jail, and then we have to like bail bonds you out, and then now you're not pre-qualified
But you know what? If you had a signing appointment that day, hell yeah, I'd be at the jail.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not just
I'm like, no, you need to sign with the notary. Your appointment's at 10. Let's get you out.
Just reach your little arm out of the cell, sign that. Well, the house will be ready whenever you're released. Yeah. That's nice. You'll have somewhere to go when you're released.
Can you imagine?
This is what we'll do as your agent and your lender.
Yeah.
You may be in jail, but it's cool.
Yeah.
You're going to get that house.
Yeah. As long as your work lets you take a little leave of absence.
Just a wee bit. It'll be fine. You have somewhere to go when you come home, and that'll be great.
Yeah. So, Katie, how can potential buyers and sellers get a hold of you?
All right, let's see. I've got obviously my website, which is katiethepropertypinup.com.
Katie, traditional.
Yes. Okay. I'm not like Katy Perry. I'm not a Y, so I'm an Katie. You've got Instagram. I think I am a little bit of Kit Kat. Yes, like the candy bar. I am fun sized. So a little bit of Kit Kat on Instagram, and I believe TikTok.
You're on TikTok.
I am on TikTok.
So you can find Katie here. Here's her website.
And then I think I am the Property Pinup on TikTok. And I have to thank you for giving me that little push to get back in there, because I was like, I don't get this world. This is a lot, y'all. And I met you, and I was like, okay, maybe I can do this.
I love TikTok. Like, people don't understand the potential of TikTok.
Like it goes like instantaneously. Like in 3 seconds of posting something, somebody has viewed it 800 times.
Yeah,
it's wild. Like I'm like, look at the views. Oh my God, it's been up for 5 minutes. What are you people doing? Like, I don't. Yeah, it's wild. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I
should make some more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't be in the office because I will be TikToking today.
Yep.
Daniel, sorry.
I schedule my TikToks. I'm like, Andy, Z, we're making TikToks today. An hour in the office. And we make TikToks.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. You are the TikTok queen, but I will learn from you.
Well, I will always help you. So again, thank you so much for coming on. This is my favorite mortgage podcast, and we are streaming on all major platforms: Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, you name it, we're out there. You can also follow us on my YouTube channel at My Favorite Mortgage by Jaimie Booth. And my TikTok is AZ Mortgage Gal. One of the first ones to get that one.
Love it.
So thanks again. We'll see you next time, and bye-bye.